All right, it's Relationships Week, and that means it's also Valentine's Day a couple days ago, and Valentine's Week as well. And we are focusing on the topic of love and marriage, so dear to God's heart. After all, He designed marriage and just relationships in general too. How powerful it is to have the mind of Christ in the most important relationships within our lives. Today we talk about this. We end this week on this massive subject of forgiveness. In just a few moments, God help us and teach us as we learn about the value of giving to others what Jesus Christ has given to us. If there's one principle for today, it's this, and you got to lean in closely and listen up closely too. Ready? You cannot have relationships that last apart from forgiveness. It's just impossible. Every true relationship will require, at some point in time, genuine forgiveness, and it'll be given often as well. Colossians chapter 3 has been our text primarily this week, and what we're seeing here in verse 13 then, when the command was to put on love and to put on humility, verse 13 says, bearing with one another, and if one has a complaint against another, forgiving each other as the Lord has forgiven you, so you also must forgive. I want to take the first part of that for a second, okay? The command, bearing with one another. Literally, in the original, that really means to put up with one another. Isn't that interesting? It's kind of like endure each other. You're going to have to tolerate one another. What that says is relationships are going to be tough. There's going to be times where we're going to drive each other a little bit of crazy. There's going to be times we're going to aggravate, again, one another. We know that, of course. Any human being alive right now understands that to be true. So the Bible, of course, predicts this and says, hey, listen, you want to really love each other? You're going to have to put up with one another. You're going to have to understand that you're not perfect, I'm not perfect, and so we love each other, and we lead with a love of understanding that gives grace that also results in forgiveness. So the text says here from Paul, it says, bear with one another. And then he goes, you got to not complain, but forgive one another. And here's the key, as Christ has forgiven you. So as a pastor, I've performed many, many wedding ceremonies. And I love to say when the bride and the groom, they're all there and they're looking at each other and they're super fired up and they're excited and they have this incredible feeling of emotion and joy in that moment. I try to say to them, I say, listen, if you're going to remember anything now, you have wonderful feelings for each other right now, but I promise you in the days to come, those feelings will be challenged. And anyone who's been married for more than, let's say, a couple hours, they would know that to be true. If you try to ride on feelings, feelings will run out. This is when we have to then find out what we're made of in character with the Holy Spirit of God and the forgiveness that the Lord wants us to extend to others. Notice in the text here it says too, we forgive others as Christ has forgiven us. You know, one of the epitomes of arrogance in the Christian life in walking with Jesus is when we fail to forgive others when we ourselves have been forgiven of every sin we've ever committed, ever. Jesus Christ has completely cleansed us and washed us, past, present, future, all sins, all time. Who are we then to have the audacity to withhold forgiveness from others when we ourselves have been cleansed of all sin? See what happens right now? The mind's renewed and the heart starts to catch up with the mind. And to say, listen, if I want relationships that will endure, I must believe in the power of forgiveness. And you must also too. Let me end with this today. Question, who do you need to forgive today? Who in your life right now has the Lord maybe put on your mind right now as I said that? Who needs forgiveness from you because Christ has forgiven you? We would love to help you. We'd love to pray for you. We'd love to walk with you. Our prayer lines, 1-866-273-4444. Call us today as we journey together in this not easy path, but this beautiful path of truly knowing and loving Jesus Christ. Love you. Thanks for listening.